Ever scroll through your Instagram feed and realize you can't remember where that painting or drawing ended up?
Mm-hmm.
It's tax season. So that means it's time to scramble to figure out cost versus profit. Are you having trouble keeping track of how many limited prints or original works are still available?
You know this.
Have you ever wanted to get your business insights like what market you have the most success in?
Mm-hmm.
I sure do. Let's be honest, we all wish we could afford an assistant to manage the business aspect of our art career so we can focus on the thing we do best, our artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the people of Artwork Archive have produced a platform that allows all these things and so much more.
Yeah. So real quick, me and MJ, we actually tried using this website, and it was actually pretty awesome. I mean, I know this is an ad read, but like,
yeah.
Like the tax thing was super cool. Like the tracking your art was like one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, like I don't know. Have you ever had that where you're like, where the fuck is that painting at?
Oh yeah, all the time.
And then this thing just keeps track of it. But one of the big things was like the invoicing that they can do. Like it's like a very professional invoice.
Oh, is it?
You can do like the tax and all that in it really easily. So it was like one of those things where it was like, and it keeps track of all that stuff. So
yeah, what I thought was cool, because I looked in the website the other day too, the insights thing, this thing that they have insights where you actually add in like where you're showing your work and how much you're selling it for. Right. And it'll kind of like predict based off of that, like where the trends are going.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty neat. Like I've never seen anybody do that before.
Yeah, I mean, it reminded me of like QuickBooks or whatever, but just like hyper focused on like an art version of that.
Right, exactly. So yeah, once you've uploaded your artwork, not only do you have a professional catalog of your work, but it saves you time creating tear sheets, consignment reports, and invoices, like we just said. Yeah. So yeah, go sign up. So the first month is free, no credit card info needed, which I actually really love when companies don't make you sign your credit card info just to do a
they're
trial.
Trying to like sneaky.
Yeah.
Like, now that month's over, we got you.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got you for at least 1 month, and hopefully you're lazy for 3.
Yeah, exactly. When you sign up through our link at artworkarchive.com/waiting, you get 20% off your first year if you decide to subscribe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's artworkarchive.com/waiting. Go do that shit. Support the podcast. Love you guys. And we'll marry you one day. Do you do acrylic? Acrylic?
I use iCarval acrylic.
I'm not even drunk. Maybe that's my issue. Welcome back to Waiting to Dry. I'm Josh Lawyer.
I am Sergio Lopez.
I did not approve that. Sergio. Let me do that one more time. Thank you. No interruptions. I can interrupt you on your intros, but on my intros, absolutely silent from everything.
Okay. Sorry.
Wait for it. Hi, I'm Josh Lawyer, and this is Waiting to Dry.
I am Sergio Lopez.
Thank you.
It was hard not to laugh, didn't it?
Yeah. So, it's minisode.
Minisode.
Yeah. You know what that means? Our episode's been in cold water. Watch that Seinfeld episode. You'll get it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it now. Our episode's been in cold water. I got it.
So, yeah. Yeah, so we're here. So let's talk about stuff quickly too, because it's mini. Yeah, I mean,
time is of the essence.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Good one, Sergio. You really hit that one.
Yeah. Do I have a?
No, you don't hit the. On the minisodes, I do all the sound effects.
Oh, okay.
But pretend that it's you. Wah, wah, wah. That's kind of like your opinion, man. All right. So the first thing we do is what? I always forget the fucking
topic.
Oh, I had another topic I wanted to talk about.
All right.
Fuck. God. All right. Well, whatever. Do you want to do that one, and then the next one will be like a tiny one.
Okay. Yeah.
So the first one is archivalness.
Mm-hmm.
And what the fuck did I say? I don't remember. We just thought this one up. Like,
iCarval.
did I say it wrong? iCarval. How come I'm saying it wrong? Archival?
Yeah.
Archival. God. I'm a little wonky brain. Archivalness and the sacrifices. What was it? Some shit like that.
Like, what would be like the permanence of what you do as far as your art goes? Like, does it get in the way of creativity at all? Is that kind of
something like the sacrifices made based off of like archivalness? God damn it! off of letting them age well.
yeah.
Because there is that idea. I've heard plenty of artists on both sides kind of talk about archivalness. There's a this very high emphasis for some artists to like make sure their paintings age very well, that they'll be around way after they're dead, blah, 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 blah. And then there's the other kinds that are like the other type of artist that's like, I don't fucking care about that shit. It's a waste of time. I'm just trying to make the art that I want to make, blah, 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 blah. And then, and I think the idea is that because there's set rules based on the medium you use and the surfaces and all this jazz. You got a jazz? I wish I could make jazz sounds with my mouth, but I can't. Hell yeah. I did that and said hell yeah at the same time.
This is the close I have to jazz. I don't know.
There are some things you have to be like aware of when painting because of how it will age. So
right.
Things that you introduce like spray paint or something like that might be a tricky ingredient in your bag to like know how that's going to age if you mix it with other shit, and how paint will stick to each other in that environment. And and I mean, even in like oil painting, I know like there's shit like, oh, don't use like lead white to ground everything or some shit like that, and then use titanium white at like the later stages. Or something. I've heard other like people talk like about paint like that. I'm like,
yeah, the thing I've heard about white is don't use zinc white because it cracks pretty quickly. Like if for archival purposes.
Yeah, that's why I only use black.
Yeah.
It's a dumb crack. All right, sorry. But yeah. But yeah, it's that like idea of like, oh, I shouldn't use whatever because of these reasons.
Right.
And sometimes you might have like an idea of how something's supposed to look, but you can't achieve that through, or like, I don't know. Because sometimes, like if you paint, like for instance, I'm in the pursuit of figuring out how to accomplish this like look of rust that I really want, right? In my work, and if you just kind of paint it, sometimes it reads not it's not really rust, so you're just like, nah, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Looks forced.
Yeah, it looks forced. So you're trying to like figure out how to accomplish that. And like I've been playing with encaustics and I've been really happy with how it looks.
Yeah, it looks
but
awesome.
Now I have this like dilemma of like, well, it looks great there, but how the fuck do I get that next to whatever I'm trying to fucking like next to where I need it to be next to? That's like a dilemma of knowing how it's going to age versus not.
Yeah.
And kind of, being the other side of the artist and being like, fuck archival. Did I say it right that time? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Like you say a word like 10 times, you're like, I don't fucking know anymore. Man.
Right.
It's not even a word.
Right.
But it's like throwing wind to that and being like, fuck it. I need this to look this way. So I kind of have to just say, fuck how it's going to age. I just want to see it now or some shit. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. You got any thoughts on that?
I'd say the people who are most interested in archival, keeping their work archival, are the ones who are like really concerned about like their legacy as far as their paintings go. Because why else would you care? Is like if you didn't care about your paintings lasting a long time or not, like you would just like do whatever and just say fuck it all.
Yeah.
And but like the people who get really obsessed with it, I guess there's pros and cons to that, where like if you really are a good enough painter, I guess you would want that stuff to last as long as possible. But by and large, I think most paintings aren't going to last the test of time anyway. That's just the nature of art in general.
Yeah.
So, I do, for me personally, I do at least do like the as best as I can with when it comes to oil paint. Like I try to follow the basic rules of like not painting over, or not painting like acrylic over oil or something, like not mixing the mediums like that way. I do a little bit of like the fat overlean stuff, but that gets kind of annoying to try and follow all the time too.
Yeah, I don't follow that shit at all. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
Plus, also, I heard if you use alkyd medium, you don't really have to worry about that much, and I've been using that for
How about
for a while.
alkyd?
Yeah, well, yeah, any of those alkyd mediums.
Anything that rhymes with alkyd?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Galkyd, schmalkyd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I at least try to do things where I paint on surfaces that aren't going to like make it crack anytime soon. Things like that.
You ever use that medium garbage palkyd?
Garbage palkyd. That was good, guys. I hope you're laughing out there in radio and podcast land.
I apologize. Yeah. I mean, yeah. For you, it kind of is because you kind of work like mostly like if you're painting in oil, you just paint in oil, right? Do you do acrylic? Acrylic.
I use iCarval acrylic.
I'm not even drunk. Maybe that's my issue. Do you do acrylic like underpaintings?
No. I mess around with acrylic gouache. That's like the closest I used to acrylic.
I tried gouache recently.
Oh yeah.
Not for me.
Not for you. Okay.
For me. It's the one medium I was like, I hate this.
Oh really? Damn.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I should show you the little thingy I did.
All right.
I also realized that I was like, I realized after I did it that it's obviously, it acts more like a watercolor paint than I realized. And I went in dark first. I was like, let me lay in some dark layers and then go over light. And then it was like, and then it just didn't let me do it.
Like it dried too light?
No, like it dried too dark always.
Oh, like the lights dry too dark. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was trying to put just like solid white on it and it was like not, because it was like too dark underneath. So it was just like never, there was like never a white.
Right.
Or like even like it was like middle tone or darker.
Right. Yeah.
So I tried it once and you know what I mean? Like maybe I'll revisit it in like a couple of years.
Yeah.
I just don't have time to figure shit out kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like a commitment. We got lost in the weeds there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I pretty much just like when it comes to archival, like worrying about it being archival, for the most part, I think we talked about this before. Like for the most part, I leave it up to people who want to save that shit to figure it out.
Yeah, just put that shit in epoxy if you wanted to live forever.
Right.
God, I mean, plus shiny people love that shit. Rich people love that shiny shit.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, God, I don't know. I feel like we answered that good enough, right?
I think so.
Here's a quick little question I got for you.
Okay.
I forget his name, like Aubrey Ray or something. He was recently on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's one of those like anti-aging guys,
Okay.
scientists who's like trying to figure out how people can live to be like 400 years old or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was on the podcast, and they kind of brought up this interesting question that I was like, oh, that's a cool idea to think about, which was, if you lived to be 400, would you do the same job for that entire time? That was kind of like what the topic they were talking about. And I was like, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, if I lived for 400 years, would I pursue art for 400 years?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I thought that would be cool to talk about.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I would exactly like
Be an artist for 400 years.
I think, well, I mean, I suppose I would be in some sort of creative field.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I would limit myself to visual art,
Right.
or like a specific type of visual art the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would want to expand out a lot further than that with that much time.
Is there any like thing you would want to pursue based off of like time? You're like, I can fucking get into filmmaking. You know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things where someone was like, hey, Sergio, you should try filmmaking. You'd be like, that's like a fucking thing that I would have to get into like 8 years ago to be kind of comfortable trying to pursue it now. But because I've kind of like gone down this road, it seems like it would be a hard segue to fucking, all of a sudden try to become a fucking director of a film.
Right. Yeah, kind of. I don't know I just don't think filmmaking is really a road I would go down. But like for example, when we were talking about,
you don't know 300-year-old Sergio.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I might pull a Jeremy Mann and try and do filmmaking as a painter.
I'm just kidding.
But like what Camille was talking about with us, like it seems like she would love to do sculpting, but like she want another lifetime to do it,
Right.
kind of.
Yeah. So is there anything interesting? Like, would you be like you would make tie-dye shirts,
Yeah,
on the Coney Island boardwalk or some shit?
right. I'd be a caricature artist. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's no like job you were like, oh, I wish I had like the ability to like dip my toe into like this world, but I just.
You mean something outside of art?
Yeah. Like, were you into lowrider cars? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you want to ranch with the little tiny pony horse thing that I forget what they're called? Miniature horses. There we go.
Be a miniature horse rancher. Yeah, sure. Let's get into that.
The words that were in my head before I figured it out were not so PC.
I don't know. I might get into sciences of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a kid, I actually was really into medicine. Like,
really?
Not actually like working on the human body, but like
you trying to be a big farmer, bro?
maybe that's where I would be.
Wow. You went corporate on us, huh, Sergio?
I tried this being a poor artist thing for 100 years. Let's see if I do the next 300.
Yeah. Let me go cure cancer real quick. I had that in my back pocket the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, Sergio. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so that's what you're all about. Now I see. Okay. Sergio's Big Pharma.
Yeah.
You and your buddy Skrillelli or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I'm going to buy Wu-Tang's next album.
Goddamn. Never saw it coming. What about being a rapper? What?
I'll be the next DJ Premier in year 300.
Hell yeah. Hey, Main Loops is making a comeback.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Wait, guys, 2200. It's my year.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
About you? You got anything like that?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I would like to take a real stab at like making furniture would be helpful.
That's what I was about to say. Like, would you do woodworking?
Yeah, probably.
Nice.
Other than that, I don't know. I mean, it would be like how you said. I think it would have to be something creative that I would want to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, woodworking would be awesome to try to like really try to master that, and kind of in the aesthetic that I like most, which is a tricky one to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Other than that,
Like nothing outside of art really calls your attention.
I wouldn't. I'm like, I feel like me and music just don't get along. Like, like me trying to create music
Yeah.
would be the worst.
We've all heard your lovely singing voice.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying my voice sucks. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the lyrics are lacking.
Nice.
But let me think. I don't know. Maybe world domination. You know what I mean? Maybe just take a stab at that.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe go like, how far did Genghis get?
Right.
I think I could beat that.
Right. That's good,
yeah. I don't know. I can't think. I would never want to do anything in fashion.
Okay.
I would never want to do anything in music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, movies maybe would be cool. Like, but it's such a fucking. I mean, I feel like you really would have to want to do it to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like me being like, maybe that would be cool.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's different than like, I want to try it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I feel like there's probably a lot of things where I'm just like, that would be cool, but to actually be good enough to dedicate, or like to be as into it to dedicate 400 years to, that's a whole different story.
Yeah. I mean, let alone like 200 years.
Right, exactly.
You know, but what about 3?
Maybe 150, I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of the years I just get addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my move.
Year 399.
Like, only got 100 years to live. Check out this this thing they call meth.
Right.
I don't know.
Try and steal hoodies out of other people's cars.
Yeah. Exactly. See how that life goes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It'd be funny to hear all the success stories. They would get like boring.
Oh.
And it'd be like, I used to be homeless. I'm like, yeah, 200 years ago, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah.
Like, okay, we get it. Sob stories of like American Idol people.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like, I fought in the war. It's like, yeah, the war when.
Right. Which war are we talking about?
Yeah.
The Gulf War. That was hardly a war.
Yeah. And then what would happen in war? Because it's like how old?
Well, you could still die. You know?
I know, but here's the thing, though, right? It's like, do you have 18-year-old fight your wars, or you're like, you got to be like 200?
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked up to throw 18-year-olds in there. They just barely started.
Yeah, like the presidential requirements. Like, instead of being, what do you have to be, like 35 at least to run for president?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you'd have to be
those young-ass 35-year-olds. They don't know shit.
Right.
That's hilarious. Yeah. That was a random question.
Yeah. It worked.
Yeah. That was a good one. Actually, it was funnier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got else? What else we got?
Stephen Coyle Art will
fan
give us our deep dive fan question.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys have a fan question, send them to Waiting to Dry, and they might make it on the mini-sode.
Yeah.
You don't need a thingy. Just anytime you have a question, feel free to send them in.
Yeah. That's pretty much what one of these was. Let's see. Like Monet, would you paint your spouse, girlfriend, partner as he or she lays dying in bed? The dude had to pull out his paint box and set up while his wife is dying in front of him. That's commitment. It's a pretty good painting, but the whole job of the living is to bear witness and help escort them to the other side, whatever that is. Anyway, it came to me as I was painting a bunch of fucking people. And nobody ever gives Monet shit for doing that. So that's the question. Would you paint your spouse as she was dying?
I'd probably try to kill the zombies and then have to shoot her in the head because she's going to turn into a zombie.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
no, it'd be painting. I'm not going to be painting during the zombie apocalypse. Next question.
Right. Well, you don't really paint people from life, living or dead or dying.
No, just, if MJ was dying, I'd probably cop a last feel.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
I got no beef with that. Do whatever you want, man. I'm sure. I don't know. Death. Everyone can deal with death however the fuck they want to deal with death. There's no right or wrong way. You know? Yeah. So if that's his way of dealing with death, I'm sure he was sad as well. I'm sure. Whatever.
Yeah, I remember reading that I think it was a letter he wrote someone where he talked about painting that, and he was just like, he felt guilty for being so grief stricken, but at the same time wanting to paint like all these weird colors that he would never see again.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. There's no, like he was saying, like guide people to the other side or whatever. It's like, motherfuckers will be there doing that. You know what I mean? Like they're there. That's how they deal with it. Other people will be at the bottom of a bottle. Other people will be quiet as shit. Other people will think they're all right, but then shit will creep up later on in their life, and all of a sudden they're a ball of tears, and it's whatever. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
It just is what it is. I mean, I don't know. It's also like a weird thing that when death comes around, people start pointing fingers like there's like someone's at fault for how they're dealing with shit. It's like, I don't know. I just let people be.
Like, what do you mean? Like people like criticize how other people deal with grief?
In those moments, I feel like a lot of families start fighting, and start going through like this weird like fight mode with each other, which is like, I mean, it's whatever. But it's like there's like this weird response of like somehow someone's guilty of the death of someone. Does that make any sense? It's like kind of like what's happening with Monet. It's like point finger and be like, it's like like death comes for us all. Like that. Right. Like there's no reason to point a finger at him and be like, that's wrong. You shouldn't. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't necessarily understand like giving them shit for it either.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think there's no wrong way to deal with that shit. Except for maybe like play her boobs like bongos.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not right.
Leave that to Josh and MJ.
Unless that's what she asked for.
Right.
When I'm on my deathbed, play my boobs like bongos. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you. I don't know why the fuck I said that.
It was funny.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that answered your question. Yeah. Hopefully you're not going through anything. That'd be horrible. Yeah, sorry for your losses, everyone. Right. We got anything else?
Nope.
Talk shit. I don't got any talk shit. I don't think.
Fuck party brunches. That's my.
Yeah, fuck party brunches. Indeed. And live music in restaurants. Fuck that. Do I have any fucking negative? I mean, a little negative thing, but we've talked about it plenty of times before. It's just like, don't be like a fucking copycat artist. That topic came up a little bit on Saturday with a group of artists talking about another artist.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I wasn't even a part of this conversation, but I heard about it after from someone I live with.
Someone, a real gossip gal.
But she wasn't the one talking shit either, but she told me about it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
But they were talking about another artist who was like blatantly copying someone, and I was like,
Oh, really?
oh yeah, you didn't realize it? Like, that's like they're literally just copying and doing a slight, like the tiniest thing effect, let's call, and then being like, that's my work, and you're like, nah, no, it's not. I'll show you after the pod.
Yeah,
but,
I'm very curious to know this is now.
But yeah, don't copy. I mean, and don't be a gallery that shows someone that copies something hella hard. I mean, maybe a little copy, but not like full on copy.
Yeah, that's more the problem to me.
Yeah. Be inspired, but don't fucking bite hard. But yeah, that's my little tip. I mean, if you're not like showing work and you're just trying to like learn and shit, I feel like that's okay. Like if you're a kid
Right.
trying to learn art, you can copy and like learn through that, but there's a time where you have to not do that, and hopefully you worked out those other muscles where you don't fucking think that's like hard to do your own shit. But yeah, that's my this week's little talk shit that I had that I'm bringing into this little circle. This little circle of trust we have.
Right, exactly. Circle. Changing our podcast name to Circle of Trust.
Is that it? Is that a mini-sode? Did we finish?
That's a mini-sode, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We actually almost hit a half hour.
Awesome. It was harder. The last episode we just did, so it was like kind of like pulling teeth a little bit. We were out of it a bit.
Yeah.
This mini-sode was way easier. It goes back to this episode we just recorded where I was like, sometimes a big painting, you know what I mean? You gotta like
exactly.
Sometimes it's easier just to look at the little thing, focus on a little thing.
Yeah, I feel like we baked this one. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Or some might say we had a little salt.
Yeah.
A little seasoning to it.
Yeah.
Cooked and cooked it right up.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's been a mini-sode.
Yeah.
If you're still listening.
Oh, fuck off!
Hell yeah.